Thank you. Thank you. So, Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Yeah, sorry, I got an important call. So now I was trying to buttress this topic. Now, based on now, I'm a Muslim, and to me, I feel like my own religion is the truth religion. You understand? And Christian religion cannot be true. My God, which is Allah, must be the real God, and Yahweh is not true. You understand? Do you think it makes sense for me to now say Christians have their morality grounded? Like which God is their morality grounded on? Is it my Allah or the fake God? Please, can you explain? I'm trying to buttress this topic so that you're not touching that part.
Yeah, for me, if I should go by the logic of, let's say, Sims in particular, because someone like Elmara, I think for her, it's like she's just trying to be honest and say that, obviously, everybody has some moral foundation, that she didn't go to the same tangent as, Sims said. Sims was more particular about, that, okay, yeah, I mean, like as an atheist, you have nothing outside of you. You see, that grounds you morally. But religious people, whether false or true, they have something outside. But going by that logic, like to answer your question, then it means you have to presume that Christians have nothing outside of them that grounds them morally. You understand me? I mean, you would see, obviously, you can see that Christians behave in certain moralistic ways. They have a certain moral expression. You can see it, you can observe it, but really there's nothing outside of them like a supreme being or anything that's grounding them like the way they believe, right? Because they are false. From the Islamic perspective, Christianity is false. You see, they say, oh, Jesus didn't unalive, all that kind of stuff, which means for them, everything that that makes Christianity is actually just a matter of just deception. So it's not really real. No one is speaking to anybody. No one is really giving anybody any morals. Nothing. You understand me? So it's either that, or they would say, or the best you can say is, okay, I get my morals from Jesus, who was a prophet and was just a human being sent by, let's say, Allah. In that sense, yeah, maybe they can say that that's how they are grounded in morality, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Now, can you, if not take away, don't you think it's even worse for you to actually cook up a God in your head? You understand? Because me now, remember, I'm a Muslim, and my God is true. Precise God is not true. To me, the God they are worshiping, to me, I feel like they cook it up. You understand? Which means that they are lying. Don't you think it's even worse for you to actually cook up an imaginary being, to worship, and now say that yes, you are grounding your morality on that imaginary being that
I mean, I concur. I feel like it's even worse. I mean, you could make that argument, but you could. I mean, it's worse. It's ridiculous. You can say it in all sorts of ways, right? But the thing is that then you are confronted with one issue that maybe the whole time that which you thought you are grounded in, that which you thought you are getting your morality from, is actually just men in antiquity, men who have passed and gone, men who were at the helm of social affairs, like maybe they were the ones running society or your community or whatever. It is these men who wrote it down and said that God said. You understand me? Yeah, that's a possibility you have to consider. If you should consider everything we've said so far and the logic behind it, then it means you have to consider that possibility too.
I want you to see it this way. You are saying it from our own perspective, from the perspective of the atheists or unbelievers. Understand? I want you to see it from the perspective of the religion.
Okay. For a Muslim.
Because right now, I am a Muslim. You are a Muslim. You understand? Take it from that perspective and answer the question. Don't you think it doesn't make sense? It's even worse when somebody makes up a God and say that yes, this God is what they are grounding their morality on. Let me even switch it. Let's say I'm a Christian. You are a Christian. Now, answer from that perspective. Now, a Muslim is cooking up a God and is calling it Allah. Don't you think that's even worse than someone that is saying that he wants to take his morality from the society?
Yeah, it's worse because then, I mean, it's yeah, but like I said, I mean, it's yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's ridiculous because then you're having this, your imagination also dictate to you what is right and wrong. Yeah, I don't even know how that works, and that's what made me say that. Then, unless you have to admit that, okay, because listen, Dark Ife, let's be realistic, okay? Like when it comes to Islam and Christianity, there is this thing that's just going on. It's a trope that is there. Everybody knows that Islam sort of like siphons from Christianity, right? They claim that they all have the same sort of like roots and stuff. You know, that's why we call it Abrahamic religion, okay? But it's just that somewhere along the line, it's like they just divert, you see, in certain beliefs. But by and large, I think they sort of agree on certain things. I guess. Okay, so from the Christian perspective, you might say that okay, the Muslim is just lost, and that whatever it was that maybe the Prophet Muhammad came with was just a pure fabrication. Okay, and so whatever laws or whatever morality they are following is just something that was just cooked up by their own people or whoever person or whatever, but it didn't come from any god. That's the perspective of the Christian. And then the perspective of the Muslim too, that one, it's a bit, because for the Muslim too, you might, I mean, you can't really say that they've made up a god because you believe in the God of the Jews. You see, you believe in Abraham's God. That's the problem with the Muslims. They believe in that, but it's just that they make these allegations that, you know, maybe somewhere it got the scriptures got tampered with or something like that, and Jesus was just a man and was a prophet. And that's why I say that from the perspective of a Muslim, if you are being honest, it's not easy for the Muslim to just say that the Christian's morality is not grounded in anything, because you believe that the Christian also believes in the Jewish God. You understand me? The God of the Jews. You believe that too. But the only thing is that you might criticize the Christians for saying that, oh, Jesus is God, and that yes, Jesus came, we respect him. You know, Isa, this and that. He was an exemplary man, but he wasn't God. You see, so I think if we are honest to ourselves, it's not easy for the Muslim to really judge the Christian in those terms, in terms of, you know, where they ground their morality.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. Even if we even agree, me as an atheist and you as an atheist, if we even say that it's God, I think we will lean more even to that, to the Christianity.
Yes.
It's like logically, you know, it came first before Islam.
Yeah, and that is why I like to also appeal to these other religions like Hinduism and stuff. I don't like to just make it between Christianity and Islam too much when it comes to this question. This question of the grounding of morality, because that one, the Christian really has more of an argument than the Muslim, like with all due respect. You know what I mean? Yeah. But but if it comes to, so let's say from the perspective of the Christian, how right now the question, okay, what about Hindus? Hindus are not Abrahamic. So how about them? How is their morality grounded? Because they would have the basic moral standards like don't steal, don't unalive. Pretty much the same things. So, but if it comes
before my time goes off, now. So now, what do you think, Kevin?
Yeah.
Now, someone that was a Muslim, this person was a devoted Muslim. He now converted to Christianity. I'm still going away. Then another person that was a Christian, diverted, and now went into Islam. What do you think is the problem? What's the problem? Is it that this person, when he was a Muslim, he didn't find Allah? Or this guy, when he was a Christian, he didn't find Jesus, or he didn't find Yahweh?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, there could be a vast variety of things, you know, reasons why. I mean, people convert and do. I mean, how could we even really put a finger on exactly why people do what they do, right? I mean, people convert for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes when you hear the reasons why somebody converted to a certain religion,
don't you think it's just based on what suits us?
When
you read this, when you read this story, maybe it suits your kind of person. Or it goes well with your emotion and
that's what I was getting to. Like it all comes down to the individual, like sort of appeal that they find from the thing. That's all. Appeal, like what you feel like resonates with you. You like it. How it makes you feel. You know, then just choose. So that one is just the way I see it.
Like sometimes, let's say something miraculous happened to you, but at that time it was some parts of the Islam that was able to actually suit your emotion. So
It
you
comes
just
down,
automatically
yes,
say that.
exactly. It comes down to
Exactly.
emotions, feeling. That's
Emotion.
it. Feelings. Yeah, feelings.
So
When you really
just
listen
be
to
like,
people,
this thing that happened to me, it must be from Allah.
yeah, you know, if it feels so wonderful, then they would intend arbitrarily just put a label on it. Okay, this from God, this from Yahweh, this from Jesus, whatever. You know, that's because how it makes them feel. Feel so profound. But yeah.
Exactly. So it's just based on the one that suits your narrative.
Exactly,
Because
that's
we
you too.
we know,
Yeah,
we know
that's
Muslims.
you. Yeah.
Muslims convert, and we see atheists to convert to Islam and Christianity. So it's still the same thing. Maybe
It's still
they're
when
able
you listen
find
to them,
something.
when you listen to everybody, when everybody's giving an account, it all comes down to a feeling, like how it made them feel. That's it. Yeah, no logical, real logical, rational thing.
This thing happened to me so day, and it must be Allah.
Yeah,
This thing happened
exactly.
to me so day, and
You
it
can't
must be
imagine
Allah.
how it could have been anything and stuff. Typical fallacy, you know. Argument for personal incredulity. Just because you can't imagine it, how can what you can and cannot imagine have any bearing on truth? You know. So, but hey, what can I say?
Yeah, and again, why do people feel like other people's mythology is not correct, but their own mythology
Ask them, oh,
is the right
ask
one?
them, oh, please.
Their
Ask
own
them, yeah.
mythology is right,
Ask them.
but the other people's mythology is mythology.
In Islam, someone flew. They believe that someone flew on a flying horse or donkey-like animal to heaven. Oh. But in the Greek mythology too, Perseus rode on a winged horse called Pegasus. And over there, you say, oh, it's myth. You've already labeled it, you know, just dismissing it. But it's something that they really believed in. You know,
in Yoruba mythology, came down from heaven,
you know.
chain.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, but you know, so people just pick and choose according to how they feel. Even Bonzo has said this many times. That's why even host separates Bonzo from the other Christian apologists.
I don't see Bonzo as a Christian, to be honest.
Bonzo says, he said, "Oh, nah, man, I pick and choose. I pick and choose. You know,
that one
you have to say that I pick and choose. Everybody picks and choose. I pick and choose."
If you give him verses, my brother will tell you, no, this one I don't.
Yeah.
I don't follow this.
So,
I think my time is up. I wasn't even looking.
Yeah. I think host was just being considered because I think you lost some time too.
Yeah. I think so. It may be busy also. Who knows?
Yeah, it's. I mean, we can keep going. It's fine.
Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, at the end of the day, last, whether you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are an atheist, you are a non-believer, you are a believer, anything you believe in, at the end of the day, we are still humans.
Exactly.
But the difference, you will do everything you will do, I will do. You can't fly in the air, bro. I can't fly in the air.
Exactly.
You can't grow wing. I can't grow wing. When I wake up in the morning, I will see the sky. You will see
exactly.
The sky. So the only thing there is that you say you have a God. But it's in metaphysics.
You know, it's all like
it's in us. It's out
you know,
of time.
And you know the interesting thing, like it's funny how especially like believers particularly, it's like when they get on platforms like this, like over here, when they come here, it's like they just leave. It's like they just suspend reality all of a sudden, like for the moment when they are here until they leave. When they leave, that's like they go back to reality.
And you know, funny part about this psychology, this thing, what's it called? Some people will go to school to go and learn about one being that they can't fathom, that they don't know where it is, they don't know that they put inside one metaphysics. And another one will go to school and go and learn how to debunk them. At the end of the day, they'll now open the YouTube channel. Having debate. It's real, it's not real. It's real, it's not real. And when you listen to them, you be like, when you listen to them, when you see the ones that are religious speaking, you now be like, it's making sense. So. And if you now see the ones that are atheists, now trying to have their own this thing counter, you now be like, this one is also right too. It is well, actually. It is well. Okay, who wants to engage Kevin, guys? Answer just left.
Would have loved to, but I'm doing pickup.
Okay, you can go on.
No, I'm doing
You
a
can.
child pickup now.
You're busy.
I'm walking to a school. Yeah, would have loved to, but hopefully when I get back
Yeah.
in
Who
the
else is
next
interested?
20 minutes.
Who else is interested, please?
The wolf guy, I've forgotten his name. Expressed interest, but I don't know if he's still around.
Yeah. Let me check. The guy's not around. The guy's not around. And again, when I now see, well, I don't want this thing to just be like I want people to engage with. Okay, let me bring this guy up so that it won't be like you're just monologuing and you're agreeing there is no war. I want somebody to fight.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah, that's what I actually want. Like, I want someone to come and
Yeah,
give me some
exactly,
pushback. Yeah, so that we can really discuss
I
this.
think the believers people who are, classed as Christians, Islams, I think they are realizing that belief is not
of
unique
course.
to them.
Even they are changing their position.
So they can't
Everything is
really
changing about
engage.
their doctrine are changing everything. They
Belief
find
is
a
not
way to
unique
make
to them.
peace
It's
with
unique.
many
It's
things.
to everyone.
Yeah, it's fine. So UBT, are you there? Unmute your mic and let me give you a time so that you can engage. Please, can you speak?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you have 15 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I think this would be like a bromance because I am in agreement with most of the things you've said. My question now is, why do believers, like, how did we come up with this doctrine or this belief? Like, religious people own the monopoly to morality. How did we get to this point? Is it a situation of like distorting history, or along the line a lie just became popular? Hi, you're on mute in case you're talking, Kelvin.
Evan, are you there? It's engaging you.
Sorry. I thought it was okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So let me repeat my question. So I'm saying there's this popular narrative going on, or something I've observed with believers, like both the Christians and the Muslims, right? They claim to hold the morality to, the monopoly to morality.
Yeah.
Like, at what point did we get to this point?
I wonder the same thing.
Because what was our ancestors doing before the creation of their own religion? What form of morality was being practiced?
Yeah, I mean, even when you speak of religions, even the oldest of the Abrahamic religions still isn't the first. Before the oldest, before Judaism or whichever of the Abrahamic religions, there were other religions and they had their own sets of morality and everything. You understand me? So where did that one come from? You see?
And the annoying thing is, if let's pick a tribe, let me use the Yorubas. Let's assume the Yorubas went ahead to start conquering everyone else. Do you know 2026 we would have been saying Eludumare is the living God? Everybody would, even the Oyibo man would have been saying Eludumare is the living God. So it's mostly based on popularity of an opinion.
Yeah, an opinion. And it's also a mass commitment of logical fallacies. You understand me? Yeah, I mean, because it's very easy and everybody is subject to one logical fallacy or the other. It like everybody, you are bound to be like, you are bound to falter when it comes to fallacies. Everyone, but it's one thing being a person who is always conscientious and aware You understand me? Of your thinking and aware of fallacies. So there are people who have actually done extensive studies in philosophy and stuff like that about how fallacies work, right? And then there are people too who don't know anything about fallacies, but even just by common sense, they're able to see when something doesn't make sense, you know? So there is that. So like me, for instance, like there was certain things right now that I'm older and understanding certain things, how to reason and even critical thinking and stuff like that. I look back on certain things that I used to believe, and and the reasons why I believed them, I'm like, wow, was I that naive that time to really believe this just because of this and that? You see, without any demonstration. But now I'm more mature. I understand how reality works. I've had enough experience to know just how fallible the human senses are. And a whole bunch of stuff to just know that truth, to determine truth is not just a matter of feelings and thinking, that okay, because there's some people that are Christians because they can't fathom how this large number of the world of the global population could really believe in something that turns out to be a lie. That's good enough reason to convince them that it is true, that Christianity is true just by the numbers alone. You see, so it's really weird.
Point, even though there is power in like popularity, but sometimes the society is not always right. And there's been historical examples of that.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a point when Galileo was like, this world wasn't.
Like it wasn't like they believed that the the earth was the center of everything, exactly. And then he showed that it's not really, it's not really like that, so but actually
that event shows that most of humanity would have believed that the earth is the center of the universe until someone brought a convincing evidence.
Exactly. And even the kind of pushback he was met with, like as if even them near, even sort of like, it was like as if it was blasphemy, just because of making new discoveries that shatters your previously held belief, It's like, it's weird. But sometimes too, when you understand the psychology of people too, you won't be surprised because people don't like to lose what they've always believed in a very long time. People, like, it's just a thing. People don't like that. We don't like that. And I think so it's understandable, it's just the psychology. Like, let me give a quick example, right? Like me, for instance, in as much as I am mature and everything, and I believe I think, there are certain times when I can even play favoritism or even be biased and know that I'm being biased. I know in certain instances, like regarding certain things, not on this platform, but in other areas in my life, I know that I know this one, come on, but I do it sometimes to maybe for a person that I've believed in a very long time to be a certain way, right? Because I've seen this person a certain way for a very long time. Then later I hear something about him, or maybe he does something that goes contrary to the way I've seen the person. I tend to behave like as if I haven't seen it because I don't want to shatter that impression or perception I have of the person. You understand, right? So I try to pretend like, but I know the reality that the person has proven to be anything but the way I saw him. You see, so these things are basic psychological things that everybody is subject to, and it's the same thing with religion,
Because one thing I know about humans, right? Or our historical journey as human beings, right? There was a time when slavery was legal.
Exactly.
Even the government approved it, or the government at that time, it was legal to just buy people.
Thank you.
It's not as if these perfect books we are all hitting our heads on. Came outside when the perfect books had the opportunity to say, "Don't do this." Right? These perfect books conformed to the practices at that time.
Yes.
So when we come up here and say, "Oh, at that time it was the culture of right," it absolutely makes no sense because where you draw your morality from actually promotes something that is bad.
It promotes something. Exactly. And listen, you see what you just said about slavery, right? It was the exact same thing I was thinking when Ansu came up earlier, making certain arguments, which was like, it was self-defeating because he was saying certain things like, for the atheists, it's like, okay, then it means that one thing that you see to be right, another time it could be wrong. But I'm like, so you answer yourself as a religious person, that back in antiquity, slavery was a thing. It was even legal, right? And people practiced it. The Bible condoned it. It's just that it condoned it with regulations, but it didn't condemn it. Like it didn't. Like it permitted it.
Completely.
Yes, it didn't stop it. It permitted slavery, chattel slavery, the ability to buy and sell a human being as property, like you would a car.
Exactly. Meanwhile,
the Bible allowed it. Wait, the Bible allowed it. Quran allowed it. Listen, Then all of a sudden, we human beings, by our own volition and our own empathetic qualities that we have, we decided that, you know what, let's abolish it. And then gradually, right now, all over the world, there's not a single government that has legalized, whereby slavery is legal. So do you mean to tell me that you answer or you be a believer or a Christian, if today, let's say hypothetically, we were to reverse it and make it legal again, would any of you partake in it? Would you go to the slave market and go and buy a human being and take home and say, yes?
They would. You would be surprised, my brother.
No, trust me. Yes. No, see. So listen, so that one tells you just the way the person is. But over here on this platform, anybody who seems to hold himself to certain moral high standards, none of them will admit that over here. Everybody will say they won't do it. Trust me. As a Christian, that you say, now right now, because slavery has been legalized, you partake in it. When you are the same person who's saying that slavery is wrong, because I don't think I don't think there's a Christian over here who makes the argument for slavery being good. Slavery being right. Buying and owning a human being as property is right. I don't think there's any Christian who makes the argument here. You understand me? So these things are problems that confront us. We need to stop pretending like they are not there. It is there right in front of you. You understand me? Stop shoving things into your subconscious.
I believe, maybe this might be a myopic belief, but my belief is every generation's duty is to do better than the previous generation and to inspire the next. And I strongly believe in evolution, like evolution in the sense that humanity, we are meant to evolve. Like the way we reason today differs from the way we reasoned 1,000 years ago, right? We've solved problems such as communication, transportation, and we'll still solve more problems. We'll only attain success when we realize that this human mind remains the most important and the most precious currency in the cosmic universe. Right? So if we say, for instance, if we say God is good, right? We should come to that conclusion by looking at the actions of this God you claim to.
Exactly right? What I've been saying. It is through actions you used to determine whether something or someone is good or bad. It's through actions.
Exactly. That's where my own moral source comes from. Exactly. My own morality is based on taking full responsibility for your action and also realizing that you can make mistakes. But when you make don't blame it on the devil. Don't blame it on
isn't that interesting?
Responsibility and do better.
Isn't that so convenient? How convenient it is to have some imaginary being that you can blame your faults on. Like it's very
Exactly. So when we see the comment section, I don't know this topic. We brought this topic, right? It's been crossing.
I know.
Sort of like a very interesting topic when it comes to right.
No, because some people haven't thought of it. There are those who are actually aware of it. That's why I was saying that when Sims came up, he came to make an argument that no, as for this topic, he's aware. And he even considered, like he said that yes, it's true. For those who actually speak in those terms, who speak that way, that atheists have no moral foundation. For those people, they are just ignorant. But for him, his question is, if you're an atheist, that's my issue. If you're an atheist, then point to something that's outside of you. You see, like maybe a supreme being, a supreme something that grounds your morality. You see, and I'm like, okay, which means because that's something outside of you, definitely we know what you are speaking of. It's not like something like a tree or gold or a television. You are speaking of some kind of supreme being or beings, right? Yeah. So if that's what you want me to point to, that gives me morality. Then I'm like, then what about the false religions? Because for false religions, in essence, you are saying that whatever they believe in is not real. Particularly, maybe let's say polytheistic ones, right? Like let's say Hinduism, the Hindu gods to the Christian are just a fabrication. They are not real. They are completely not real. I don't even want to use Muslim because over there it gets a bit dicey. Let's just use completely different, non-Abrahamic religion. They are not real to you. So how is it that you, the religious person, who says that the atheist has no moral grounding, like there's nothing outside of them that grounds them morally, then but you're comfortable looking at a so-called quote unquote false religion like Hinduism and say that, but as for them, listen, as for them, they have something outside of them that grounds them morally. You see, whereby at the same time, that's something that's outside of them, you believe it to be false. So it's like you're contradicting yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And are we also neglecting the power of self-reflection?
Okay, I mean that's also a deep thing. It depends. Like if you like to start talking about that too.
But anyways, it was like a very interesting conversation having with you.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, topics like this we should bring them more often.
Yeah, bring them more often. And every day, Jesus is God, Jesus is not God. Jesus is God, Jesus is not God. Like, who cares if Jesus is God or not? I mean, you understand me? Like, okay, so Jesus is God. So then what? Is your claim? Does it mean that it's true that this man came and he was? Let's talk about stuff that really confronts us. You understand me? Another question I'll come and put. I want to know, why does God not heal amputees? Yes, it's a question we need to ask, because according to Christians, God can do anything, and through prayer you can get anything. So you can pray if you get a knee injury.
It doesn't work that way.
They will say God is not a magician, and yet throughout the entire Bible, God has been doing magic, turning water into wine. What do you call that? Is that not magic?
Stopped the moment digital camera.
Just invented. And so we need to discuss all these things, these real things. Let's discuss them.
Meanwhile, the duty of science is to shine light where there is ignorance. Like this is just my definition of science. It just shines light where there is ignorance. Like if you pick the dullest human being today and teleport him 1,000 years ago, right? If you teleport this man even the time of Jesus, this man with a low IQ will be seen as a god in that time. If you just imagine this, what I'm saying, because the amount of things you know, even if you don't know, if you start telling people, they will worship you. They will say, you must be the Messiah because you know so much, right? So that shows you the evolution of humanity.
Yeah. So
I think for us to find that solution, we need to shine light where there is ignorance and be ready to agree when we are wrong. And yeah, thank you guys.